A man stands in line for the guillotine. He has no wife waiting for him, no children crying in the crowd, no future at all. The blade above him glitters in the morning light. It has already come down once today. It will come down again. The crowd does not see individuals. They see enemies. They see numbers. They see fuel for the Republic. Around him, screaming, sobbing, bargaining with God. People try to make themselves smaller. Some faint, some vomit. Some whisper apologies to no one in particular. He's silent. He almost looks relieved. Not because he wants to die, but because he has finally found something worth dying for. Sidney Carton's life is a failure, and in the last moments of it, he experiences something you and I spend decades chasing: clarity. Carton does not begin A Tale of Two Cities as a tragic hero. He begins as a corpse with a pulse. He's brilliant, but he gives that brilliance away. He wins trials for other men, then watches them accept their congratulations. He doesn't even resent them. He resents himself. He drinks because sobriety forces him to look at the person he could have been. He wears cynicism like armor because hope would force responsibility. Dickens does not ask us to pity him. He asks us to recoil. Sidney Carton is wasted potential given flesh. Not a fallen angel, not a misunderstood genius. A man who could have mattered, and chose not to. Every time he looks at Charles Darnay, Carton sees the version of himself who tried. Darnay is noble. He is principled. He is loved. Not because he is exceptional, because he cared enough to act. Carton is not unlucky. He is the result of every moment you looked at your own life and asked, "What's the point?" and then refused to answer. Lucy Manette is the first person who sees anything in him. Not the wreck he is, but the person he could be. Carton falls in love with her, and the love is terrifying because it is not possession. He does not compete with Darnay. He does not sabotage them. He does not stalk or beg or manipulate. He does something far more dangerous. He tells her there is one soul who would sacrifice his life to protect her and everyone she loves. Dickens knows exactly what he's doing. Carton does not say, "I will try to be better." He says, "I will die for you." Redemption for him is not a process. It is a single decisive act. That vow becomes the skeleton of his identity. It doesn't evaporate when she marries someone else. It crystallizes. Not your happiness, not your affection, your survival. Love in Dickens' hands is not sentimental. It is a blade you turn inward. The French Revolution is not history class. It is a furnace. Centuries of aristocratic cruelty ignite into mob brutality. Vengeance is national policy. Hatred is civic virtue. Charles Darnay tries to return to France to save a servant, and is swallowed whole. He renounced his family. He abandoned his title. He rejected everything they did. It does not matter. To the mob, he is an aristocrat. To the tribunal, he is a symbol. To the guillotine, he is just another neck. He is condemned not for what he has done, but for what he represents. Bloodline is guilt. Name is crime. Lucy begs. Her father pleads. Allies scheme and barter and pull strings. They appeal to mercy, to reason, to memory. And Paris gives the same answer every time. The revolution has no pity. In this furnace, innocence and guilt burn at the same temperature. Carton comes to Paris not to win. He comes to fulfill the promise he made in silence. He does not prepare a case. He does not gather evidence. He does not attempt debate, because he understands something everyone else refuses to accept. You cannot reason with ideology. You cannot negotiate with a mob. You cannot argue innocence to a crowd that demands blood. So he does not try. He watches Darnay's final attempt for reprieve. He sees the moment the tribunal condemns him, and something inside Carton locks into place. He does not doubt. He does not hesitate. He does not mourn. He sees his purpose. Dickens planted the weapon early. Carton and Darnay look so alike they could be brothers. Carton drugs him. He does not ask permission. He does not give explanations. He does not hope for forgiveness. He forces Darnay to live. This is the hinge of the story. Not, "I will die if necessary," but, "You will survive whether you like it or not." Carton spends his entire life drifting, avoiding responsibility, hiding from effort. And then, in the moment that matters, he becomes a man of action, not a martyr, not a romantic, not a tragic poet. A man who has finally found a use for himself. He takes Darnay's place. He gives Lucy her husband. He gives their child a father. He gives their home a future. And he does it with no audience, no applause, no witnesses. Just a decision. He joins the procession of the condemned. Around him, screaming, pleading, panic. Some curse the Republic. Some pray for miracles. Some promise to confess everything if the blade spares them. Carton is silent. The world around him is noise. Inside himself, there is only calm. He has never been this alive. Carton does not imagine crowds praising him. He does not dream of statues or ceremonies. He does not fantasize about paradise or martyrdom. He imagines the life he will never live. Lucy walking in sunlight, her child laughing, a family at dinner, the passing of years in peace. He imagines a boy who might someday bear his name, not because he earned it, but because someone remembered his kindness. Carton does not picture his funeral. He pictures someone else's breakfast. To the revolutionaries, his death is meaningless, a number, a body, another head in a basket. To Carton, his death is the only sentence he has written that matters. It is the moment his life stops being wasted. Sidney Carton enters the novel as a man who believed he was already dead. He leaves it as a man who has finally found purpose, not in victory, not in achievement, not in legacy, in a trade, his life for theirs. He walks to the blade not to escape his failures, but to redeem them. And that is why his final thought is not despair, but triumph. It is a far, far better thing that I do than I have ever done. There are many bad deaths in this world, deaths of cruelty, deaths of negligence, deaths of fear. Sidney Carton finds the only good one. If you enjoyed this literary incident, subscribe for more strange intersections from the history of writing.